Those of you who are into collecting clothing based on gaming franchises may probably be familiar with the design studio under the name of Volante Design. Their slogan is Superhuman Streetwear, and as it suggests, the options on offer are heavily inspired designs adapted for urban environments. Although they don't hold official merchandise licenses, Volante's designs clearly use popular titles as reference material, such as Devil May Cry and Star Wars. Their upcoming campaign involves a certain iconic hero, which you can probably guess. Their largest collection, Birds of Prey, is an obvious reference to our favourite costumes and characters from Assassin's Creed. I was actually approached by Volante over a year ago, but we never followed through with it. Nonetheless, I decided to bite the bullet and get something for myself. After going through all the awesome designs, I settled for something that was modest, reasonably priced within my budget, and a safe entry point into their collection, the Falcon. The Falcon is one of their denim hoodie designs and is an improvement from the plainer Kestrel hoodie, this time featuring more distinct accents. Normally priced at $290 US, the jackets are, as of this video, on sale for $190. I do want to point out, however, that international shipping can be scarily expensive, so do be warned. I also want to point out one of the huge advantages of browsing through Volante's collections. Their products typically come in a huge range of color options, including a Halo-inspired Spartan color scheme and the striking black garnet pattern. Most products also come in men's and women's cuts, so the jacket is going to look much neater when worn rather than a unisex item. I selected the revolutionary scheme, borrowing from the color scheme used by the protagonist of Assassin's Creed 3. This jacket uses white as a primary color with navy blue accents, forming a sharp eye-catching pattern on the front and back. The Falcon is a rather tight cut, which looks great around the shoulders and waist, giving a stronger appearance, and it feels strong with its heavy denim material. The jacket has two waist pockets and a breast pocket on the inside left chest. The hood features the distinct beak found on many assassin costumes. Because of the coarse fabric, the hood does well in keeping its shape. However, it does tend to look like a big scoop when not worn, so you may have to flatten it to keep it low profile. Another distinguishing feature is how the bottom of the jacket is shaped. Unlike most hoodies, the Falcon has a convex cut, perhaps a reference to the robes worn by its source material, but not so exaggerated as to look awkward. If anything, it adds to the slim shape of the jacket. The jacket's pattern also looks great when worn open. My favourite part is where the accents continue onto the back to form sharp spurs, following the theme of the Falcon. There's one more thing I want to discuss, and that's sizing. I normally wear medium, and while the medium Falcon does sit nicely on my shoulders, I can definitely feel that it's a little tight and I'd be more comfortable a size up. I've seen others express the same conservative approach when buying from Volante. So, while the Falcon is a fairly old design by this point, it still is a nice design. It has a much different appeal to what you may find in Mustard Brand or Ubiworkshop, and while this definitely isn't the higher end of Volante Design's inventory, this is very indicative of the style of clothing which they make. So, as an entry point, and not a very expensive one either, I think the Falcon jacket is a good showcase of the materials, the design philosophies, the style, and the jacket itself is quite nice. One thing that's worth noting about Volante Design is that their jackets are quite different to Ubiworkshop's hoodies. Ubiworkshop primarily makes a lot of soft hooded jackets, whereas this is more of a hard shell. At the time, and this is, we're talking about like Assassin's Creed 3, like 3-4 years ago, This was like the main alternative because at the time, Ubiworkshop hadn't really made many products which would be worn for streetwear. So Volante Design was one of the forerunners in making alternate design. Now, of course, it's not licensed, so it's not explicitly Assassin's Creed. In fact, there is no branding here because it's not a licensed product. There is no branding. And the amount of the amount of Assassin's Creed presence is not very strong. It has some of the hallmarks. It has, of course, the big hood, which is probably the better big. So generally, Volante is known for making good hoods, especially in the more recent items such as the Harrier and the Rook, which is based on Syndicate and Unity, respectively. It does have a lot of the motifs, so it has kind of like that tribal design. So I love the accents on this. Again, it's not really from the game per se. It's very inspired by costume design from the game, but it isn't from the game. And I do like it. I like how it just looks right. You know, I'm the kind of person who loves drawing patterns and making things right on paper, on fabric. So seeing this and seeing this in the back especially, it makes it very appealing to the eye because it just seems to make sense. And again, the big bonus is, it is a very, modular design. So, there are plenty of color combinations which might suit your taste. You know, there's black and red, black and green, purple and black. So, for a lot of the designs, and the Falcon especially, if you don't like the white and navy blues, in my case, I went for the colonial look. I actually don't have a white jacket, which is interesting. So, I picked a white. I've got plenty of black and grey jackets, not only white jackets. So, I picked this. This is available, and it's a pretty good colour scheme. It's a nice throwback to, Connor and the Assassin's Creed 3 storyline. But of course the other colours would suit you as well. Now, there is a sentiment that Volante Design generally makes better quality, clothing than Ubiworkshop. And I find it interesting because I do agree to a certain extent. They do make clothing that is more adaptable for streetwear. A lot of the Ubiworkshop designs, they feature a lot of branding. And that's quite expected. It's the official merchandise. And this isn't a bad thing. I like how Ubiworkshop have adapted a lot of the designs to be inspired by, and have that look. Whereas something like this doesn't have a distinct look that comes from Assassin's Creed. And that makes sense. It's not a licensed product, so they're not copying the costume. So it's inspired by, it may invoke a feeling of, especially if you are a fan, but nobody else will really kind of figure out it's associated with Assassin's Creed. It's just a nice pattern. This isn't the same for their full-blown costume, so the eagle, which is like the distinctive robes of, Connor, not the Rook or the Harrier. They do carry, distinctive, designs, but I think they will stand the test of time. Like, give it a few years and people won't realize that it's from Assassin's Creed. And I think that's the goal. The goal is to make clothing that's heavily inspired by, but isn't a copy of the costumes from the game. An example of this would be, I'm looking at the Connor hoodie from, Ubiworkshop, and, these were released at around the same time. I mean, obviously Assassin's Creed 3, same, time period, and the difference is you have this kind of like greyish white, soft shell polyester, jacket, blue color, white and blue color scheme, and the Volante Design, it takes the same color scheme, the same, kind of pattern, but without, say, the colonial ribbing, on the front of the jacket, or the really, oversized, eagle pattern, beak. This has the big hood, this has the color scheme, but it doesn't reek of fandom, and that's one of the big appeals of Volante, based on what I've read in reviews. It's interesting to talk about some of the historical context, because Ubiworkshop has been known to make primarily hoodie budget products, so hoodies, which are quite costly, t-shirts, and I guess a lot of people who like playing the game are maturing, they're growing older, and they want things which are more appropriate for their daily wear, not hoodies. And this is reflected in some of the recent products from Ubiworkshop. I've already reviewed the Assassin jacket, and I think looking at it, this is about 3 or 4 years apart. Volante kind of did pioneer the look of having a rugged street jacket. The Assassin jacket, definitely one of my favorite jackets from Ubiworkshop, made from similar materials. It still carries distinctive hallmarks of the Assassin's Creed branding, so the hood, the collar, the giant symbol underneath. But the design feels like more like a denim design, and it feels very similar to the Volante jacket design. So I think if you are looking at buying from Volante, this is the kind of product you're getting. Ubiworkshop has been late to adapt to this. I haven't yet seen their syndicate lineup have anything like this. So it'd be interesting to see if Ubiworkshop does pursue something a bit more along this line. And of course, being Ubiworkshop, they are officially licensed by Ubisoft, so they can do this. But as far as this is concerned, Volante, I'm very satisfied with Volante's design. They are distinctly different. I'm very happy to see that they are making new products for things like Zelda, which I'm not a big fan of, but it's great to see their costume design and inspirations. So, as far as this jacket goes, this is definitely worth it. It's a bit more costly than a hoodie. I'd say overall this is a pretty good jacket. Overall, I would say that Volante Design is worth checking out. They do make some really good inspired designs, which don't invoke the same fanboyism as the more common merchandise items. I do recommend the Falcon jacket. It is a nice jacket, nice design, nice fit. A little tight for me, that's mostly because the sizing is a little different from what I'm used to. But it is a very functional jacket, very simple, and it's a nice entry point. If you don't want to spend hundreds on getting a full-blown, long coat, then this is a good compromise. It has the look and feel of their more advanced designs, but comes in the form of a simple hooded jacket. So, do check it out. Do check out the other lineups as well. And, overall, I'm very happy with this purchase. Anyway, this is NUSensei. Hope you found this review helpful. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.